Good morning, beautiful people. How are you today? So, today I want to talk about the energy updates that we might be feeling at this time. So, we just had the Libra new moon, as well as Pluto stationary direct, and Saturn going direct yesterday, as well as the 1010 portal. And so, right now, it's probably feeling pretty intense because whenever planets go direct or they go retrograde, like the day of, it's like our bodies are trying to adjust to that energy, right? It's like a standstill energy, and so we just feel it that much more. And so if you're really struggling, like last week was a struggle for me, emotionally, like energetically, I just felt really drained. Which is very normal with ascension symptoms. Like, you're going to feel like your body needs more rest, more self-care. You need to stay on top of those type of things because your body is adjusting to the energetic levels that are happening around us. And as far as like Pluto and Saturn go, like they're very like internal energies, especially Pluto. Like it's a little bit more subtle, but at the same time, like when they go direct, you're going to really be seeing like, where are my flaws? Like, where have I grown, and where have I like holding myself back compared to last spring? Because both of these planets have been retrograde for quite some time. And Saturn, now that it went direct, you might feel more of a forward motion. You might feel unstuck, like where things felt stalled or stuck. You might feel that energy pulling you now more towards like a go motion. So, and then I believe we have Jupiter that's going to go direct on the 18th of this month. So we have like, I believe we have like 4 planets going direct this month that have all been retrograde. And so October is going to be a very transformational energy. It really is going to be a, how have I changed? Like, where do I see myself? Where am I going long term? It's just going to be a lot of like internal motion and way of thinking, asking yourself, like, is this where I want to be? Do I like the growth, or am I still seeing that I'm stuck in old shit? So I've also read a few things about like, karmic patterns and karmic cycles like clearing out as far back as like 2012. So like, I think that the significance of 2012 is because, that was like the year that the Mayan calendar supposedly ended, right? And I don't think that it was really like an ending. What I personally believe is that it was more of an ending to the way that we used to do things, and it's kind of like a birth of a new world and a new like ascension. More and more people are like waking up. And what that means is I feel like people are undeniably at this time feeling the energies that are going on. Like they can't help but realize or see how I used to live my life, or what I used to believe, really isn't in alignment with who I want to be or who I am anymore. And so because of that, it's like a global shift that's happening. Now, coming up in February, we have the first ever Pluto return for the United States. And Pluto just went direct for us a couple of days ago. And I was talking about, it's an internal like subtle feeling of like wanting to change things, but like Pluto is also I want to say it's going retrograde in Capricorn. Like, don't quote me on that, but I'm pretty sure it is. And it's all about like structures and institutions and money. And I really think, there's been a couple of astrologers that have talked about this. Like, I really think there's going to be something globally that goes on with our economic system. I'm a little bit nervous about Wall Street, like about, the stock market, stuff like that. There are going to be some planetary aspects that are going to be repeating like they did like in the 20s. And like, I think it's going to be a very iffy thing from the end of this month to March. And there could be some kind of possible crash. Like, I'm not going to like put fear out there. I would just be very conscious of what you're investing in at this time, and what you're doing with all of that. I also feel like there might be some big things that happen with like taxes and stuff like that. And as a result of the pandemic and the global pandemic. And, you know, for it to be a Pluto return, which is going to be like the exact moment that the Declaration of Independence was signed, or like, exact moment, but the Pluto return starts on 2/22. So February 22nd of 2022. So there's a lot of twos there. If the degree is 22, I'm going to like die. Like, I haven't looked that far into it yet, but there is something going to be really big happening with this, and the people kind of fighting back. So if you know anything about, like, when we signed the Declaration of Independence, we wanted our independence from Britain. Like, we didn't want their government and paying their taxes and stuff like that, and we rebelled and we gave power to the people. Now, I kind of feel like we'll probably see something along those lines, or globally along those lines, where the people take their power back. I don't really know what that means or how that will play out, but it wouldn't surprise me, since, it is kind of like all this repeating of patterns and cycles and planetary placements that are repeating. And so, the energy that we're feeling now, I feel like, is leading us up to that. It's kind of like go time, and we're massively clearing out karmic cycles, like I said, from like 2012. So if you have been struggling since 2012, like energetically, in relationships, just with life, I feel like the reason is because you were burning off all of that karma, and you're going to feel kind of like a push ahead. And I feel like we're going to be coming out of that, and I don't think it's over yet. Like, I think that we still have like some ups and downs to go. It doesn't mean like life is going to be completely easy, but I do think there'll be more blessings, and whatever happens is going to be like for the greatest good of us, as well as like the collective. And obviously, like, I'm not an astrologer. I'm just going off of like how I'm reading the energy. Pam Gregory is an astrologer who has put out some information about this stuff. And it's funny because she actually just mentioned the stock market in one of like her last videos. And I had been feeling that for a while. And so when she said it, I almost felt like it was in alignment with like what I was feeling. And I don't know enough about astrology to like really go in depth on that, but it will be interesting to see how it all plays out. So like I said, be conscious of like what you're doing with your money at this time. Other astrologers have talked about how they feel like we're going to go to like some other economic payment system, or bartering, or trade. I don't know if I feel that as much. Possibly, like, if you own your own business and you're wanting to trade services, like, I think that's a great thing to do. Like, why wouldn't you do that? But I don't know that that's going to be like a global or a world thing. So I don't know how that will all play out over the next several months, but it'll be interesting to watch for. So my other thing that I want to talk about is the upcoming full moon in 2 weeks is going to be in Aries. Now, Aries energy is very much the I am the center of the universe, or how I internalize things, or how I might take things personally. Aries people are very passionate. So instead of it being a triggering energy or a anger energy, because it's going to very easily be like that, try to make it more about passion. Like, what am I passionate about? How do I show my passion? Try to take that fire energy and get passionate about things. This is going to be hard for me. I have an Aries moon, and if anyone knows me, you know that my Aries moon can like set me off like a motherfucker. So I like to react instead of respond sometimes. But I am really trying to, be better about that, be more clear with my communication, not reacting and more responding. And so I'm going to be very hyper aware of this in the next couple of weeks leading up to the energy of the full moon, just because all of this energy is like playing out. Mercury retrograde, I think, is the 4th planet that's going to be going direct later this month. And so just really being aware of how I communicate. So, with that, I hope that this brings some clarity of the energy that you might be feeling at this time. If you have any questions, please let me know. You can always go to my website, which is iehealingmn.com. MN is in Minnesota, and sign up for my email. If you sign up for my email, I will send you emails about upcoming events and retreats and stuff like that. I promise I won't spam you. I'm also going to be sending out a how to manifest guide for anybody that signs up for my email. So be sure to check that out. I'll be posting something about that soon. With that, I'm sending you all love. Please have a great week, and I'll talk to you soon.